Hey, Switcheroos, it's Michael here again. I know it's been way too long since you had a Nintendo Switch Up mini episode from me. You had one from that hoser Nick Stevens, and I'm sorry for that. And you had one from Stephen Michael from Facebook, which was awesome. But you haven't had one from me in a while, and I guess I should explain myself. It's twofold. One, I've been a little bit lazy, so there's that. But two, I spent way too much of my time whenever I pick up my Nintendo Switch playing Stardew Valley. So maybe I should just take some time and talk to you guys about Stardew Valley. All right. So Stardew Valley is essentially Harvest Moon, but it's not made by, as far as I know, it's not made by the people who made Harvest Moon. It's just made by people who love Harvest Moon. And it really shows. So it's a giant time sink that you could spend hundreds of hours playing, and I've spent way too much time playing it, but it is a lot of fun. If you're a fan of Harvest Moon, there's no reason you should not purchase this game and play it. It's been available on a lot of systems. It's been on pretty much everything, I think. It came out originally on Steam and on the PC, but it is it's so at home on the Switch because it's one of those games because you can pick it up, you can play it for 5 minutes, you can play it for 10 minutes, you can play it for 5 hours, whatever. You can play it on the go, play it at home. It's perfect on the Switch, in my opinion. The game is, like I said, it's basically Harvest Moon. You can raise a farm, you can have plants, animals, garden, you can design your farm. There's different layouts of farms you can do. There's a town, there's people, there's townsfolk that you can talk to. You can have relationships with the townsfolk, even friendly ones, and it kind of builds throughout the game. Seasons change, different plants. I've kind of focused myself on being a gardener for the most part, but then I've got some chickens, and I name my chickens. Because if you don't name your chickens, then, you're not a true farmer. Anyways, so there's mining, there's farming, and you level up these things, and really it takes the Harvest Moon formula and to me really improves it. There's so much to do. The fact that you can level up by doing more of farming or mining or there's combat, and once you get into the mines, there's enemies you can fight with a sword and stuff like that. There are events happen throughout the year, just like Harvest Moon, and if you haven't played Harvest Moon, might I suggest you start with Stardew Valley instead, because like I said, it is everything Harvest Moon ever was to me and more. So it takes up way too much time. I will agree with that. You kind of get sucked in, but if you go on the eShop and look at the list of top games right now, I believe it's in the top 5, and it has been ever since it came out. And there's a reason for that. It's not terribly expensive. It's one of the better buys in the eShop right now, and I really can't say enough good things about it. If there is any negative to say, the graphics are kind of they're good, but they're not quite what they probably could be. The animations are a little wonky, but in general, you're getting 16-bit-ish graphics on the Super Nintendo type stuff, just like Harvest Moon was, or at least the Harvest Moon I remember loving on the Super Nintendo and like Game Boy Advance and stuff like that. You're getting similar graphics to that. And they're constantly adding stuff to the game still. I think there's multiplayer that's supposedly coming to the Nintendo Switch. So we have that to look forward to still yet. It's not come out yet, but I think it's hit PC. So if anybody out there who's been playing on PC would know how well that works. But anyways, I think that's about it. I will try to make these more regular. I'll try to give you more Switch Up episodes from me. I'm also working to try to make sure all you D-padders out there and you dudes and honorary dudes and switcheroo people, you all have opportunity to do these Switch Up episodes as well. They're short, they're sweet, but reach out to me if you want to. And as always, listen to the regular show, and if you want to, support us on Patreon. Anyways, later, dudes.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.